Hey you, it's Kyla Lou, and how's your day going? I mean, regardless of how you're doing, you're looking ridiculously cute, and your eyes are just sparkling today. So hopefully you have a good day because you're looking fabulous. I am so excited for today's video because I've got some really fun design tips for your ClickFunnels sales funnels that really aren't too difficult. They don't require any coding, so let's jump into it. All right, the first design tip that I'm going to share with you guys is increasing the image size. So here you guys can see I've got an image on the right hand side, I've got a little headline, some text, and a button. Now, let's say I want to make this image just a little bit bigger, okay? So here I am on the preview screen of my funnel. Let's go back here into the editing screen. So I've got my image, awesome. One of the easiest ways to make your image bigger within ClickFunnels is going into the settings of the element, going to the width, and adding in some pixels. So obviously 300 makes it really small. So let's say 700, but there's gonna be a certain point where no matter the amount of pixels I add in, it's not gonna change the image. Like at a certain point, it's not gonna be any bigger. So how do we fix this? Let me show you. So here I've got just a clone section and I'm gonna show you guys. So what I did is I just downloaded this image off of Google, but if you're taking your own image, you want to crop off the white space in your image. So let me show you this. I'm just gonna do this on Canva. So here I've added my image in, you can see it here on the left-hand side, and I'm gonna just crop this white space. What I've done is I've just selected a Facebook post. Let me refresh this so the image shows up. Okay, awesome, there it is. So here I've just selected a Facebook post from the designs, and I'm just gonna click and drag this until I get all or most of the white space off on the sides. Obviously, I don't wanna cut this off on the top. Okay, that looks great. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and download this. Okay, now that I've added this image into ClickFunnels, I've just dragged it in and uploaded it. You can see here that the white space is significantly less than the original image that I uploaded. So I'm gonna click on this and add image to my funnel. And you can see it already makes it so much bigger. Obviously, the image quality isn't as great as I would have liked, so I would have adjusted it. But you can see here, that makes the image so much bigger and fill up the space without me having to adjust the pixels. Now, if I wanted to go in here, I could go in and make it smaller if I wanted to, but that's a really easy way to make your image bigger if you go into adjust the pixels and it just doesn't work, because at a certain point, it's not going to make the image any bigger. So let's go ahead and save this so you guys can see, and let's go ahead and preview it. So there you guys can see the difference between making the images bigger when you can adjust the pixels. The second design tip that I'm going to show you guys, and this one is so easy and it blew my mind when I saw someone share this. So I'm here sharing it with you guys, and this is how to get the overflow. Basically, the overflow of either one section or row or element on top of another. So you guys can see here, these three computer images I have overlapping on this pink box. So let me show you guys how to easily do this. Literally doesn't require any coding. So if I scroll down here, this is the section that I've cloned. So right now my computers or my 3-section row is below these 2 rows up here, okay? And what I want to do is have these computers cross or overlay onto this pink box, okay? So I've got a blank row right here. When you have a row that doesn't have any elements in, it's just gonna show up as a blank row, okay? So right now I have color in here, so it's just a pink blank row. So you guys can see here, that there. So now what I'm gonna do is go here into the rows, so the dark blue. I'm gonna click on settings, and here at the top margin, right, this is how I can increase or decrease the space, but at a certain point, it doesn't go any farther. This is where it gets awesome. What you can do is go in here to type, and I'm gonna do -200. And it's overlaid. How cool is that? Obviously you can mess with the metric. So if I do 20, it's gonna like almost bring it to the bottom, but 200 for this specific one, I found is a good amount of overlay, and it just brings it up. So that's really cool. Now, what you do wanna note is you can see if I hover over this row, it's really, really high, okay? So if I click on the settings here and I want to edit it, you can see, oh, I had to add 2000. That's why it was like all the way up to the top of the page. If I scroll down here, you can see the row now covers this headline. So if I want to edit the headline, right now I have no option to click on it because the row is completely overlaid onto it. If I want to edit it, I would just go back in here, click on this, make this 0. And now you can see I can hover over this headline and edit it, which is really nice. Oh, this was the top one, but that's okay. So that's just my recommendation if you want to go back and edit it. But that is how you do the overlay. So if I save this so I can show you guys here, make sure you save after you do any work in ClickFunnels, and we preview this. Now you guys can see this bottom section is now overlaid. Now what you can also do is do this for different elements. So if I wanted to just do it for one of the computers, let's take this row back to 0, and I wanted to just do it for this computer, I can do it here like that and bring that one up. So you can do it for individual elements, or you can do it for the entire row, or you can do it for sections. The third tip that I have for you is mobile sizing. Now, what I would recommend is making sure your funnels are mobile optimized, and you can easily do that within ClickFunnels, but there's a little hack that I want to make sure I show you guys. You guys will see in a sec. So here we have this desktop, okay? I've got a headline here, I've got an image and a little sub headline, right? Everything looks great. The sizing's good. I like the image. So let's go back here into the editing screen. This is what it looks like. But now if I click on the mobile version and I scroll down here, you can see this headline does not look good. There's too many lines. I don't want that many lines. And even this here, this little sub headline, I want the text not to be so bulky. But here's the mistake that I don't want you guys to make. Let's go here to this headline. So right now this headline is 42 font size. Now if I just go in here and start dragging this down to that looks great for mobile. But if I go over here to the desktop, boom, and let's scroll up here, that's too small. So we don't want the sizing that we do on the mobile to affect the desktop. So here's what you do. Really simple fix. Let's go here back into mobile and let's increase this back to 42 where it doesn't look so hot on mobile. Now, instead of editing this font size, we're gonna go to mobile size. And the beauty of this is it's going to affect how the text looks on mobile, but it's not gonna affect our desktop. So I'm gonna click on this here. You can see right now it is 42 pixels. And I'm gonna go down, let's see, to 25. Okay, maybe a little bit less. Let's do 17. Awesome. I love how that looks. So now it's 17 mobile size. And if I go back here to the desktop, scroll up, it doesn't affect the text size on the desktop, which is so amazing. So when you're going in to make sure your funnels are mobile optimized, make sure that you're not dealing with the actual font size marker dragger thing. You're actually going to edit mobile size right here. So if I go in, boom, 18, that looks pretty good. We just wanna make sure we adjust the text so it looks good on both. And the mistake I made once when I was first figuring this out is I made my desktop look all amazing. And then I was like going through on mobile and making sure it looked good on mobile by changing this font size. And then I went back to my desktop and realized it had messed everything up. So make sure you don't do that. Another quick tip too when you're doing mobile sizing when it comes to images is you can make an image only mobile only. So that way you can work with it just on the mobile. Then you want to make sure that you make one desktop only. Or if you're just having one image for mobile, one image for desktop, you can do that as well. But I can make this image mobile only so I can make it as big or small as I need it. So that's one way to work with images. But that text is really important to know so you don't go through and mess up how your desktop looks. The fourth tip that I have for you is a video background. Now, this is just a really fun aesthetic thing that you can do for your funnel. Now, a couple tips here. You can see that I have them listed. You can only do this for the background for the entire funnel. So you cannot go into an individual section or row and add a video in, okay? And I'm gonna show you exactly how to do this, but you can only do this for the background for the entire funnel. So right now on this funnel that you guys can see, the entire background that I have set is like this faded or gradient pink here, and then I've got my different sections with a white background. So that's what we're gonna be dealing with. You can use copyright-free stock footage from a site like Pexels here. You can see this is where you can get stock videos that aren't copyrighted. You can also go to Pixabay. That's a really great place. And then what I would recommend doing is downloading it off of one of those sites and then uploading it to YouTube as unlisted, because you're gonna need a YouTube URL. So I've already done that here. I'm gonna get this link and show you guys how to do this. So if we go back here into our editing screen, instead of going into the background for our sections, so right here, this is how I would do the background image there. What we're going to do is go up here to settings and click on background. So this deals with the entire background of our funnel. So right now, this image that I have in here, if I click on this, and we go to background, you can see this is the image that I have selected, but we're gonna cancel that really quick. Now what you can do is you can see right here, YouTube video, BG video. So we're gonna turn this to true, and I'm gonna go ahead and enter that URL that I just copied, and you can see it automatically switches it. Now what it's going to do right now on my editing screen is just show me the video thumbnail. So you can see video image, video thumbnail, or I can do original settings. So let's go ahead, save this here. And now we're going to preview it. And now you guys can see I've got a video background on my funnel. How cool is that? So as I scroll through here, again, the sections that I have here have a white background. I can get rid of those, so it's just the background of the funnel. But now I have a video on the background. So really cool tip, really easy, doesn't require any coding, and just adds a little bit of spice to your funnels. The fifth design tip that I have for you guys is adding multiple images into your funnel that are right next to each other. Now, what you can do, let's go back here into the editing screen, okay? So what you can do, I've got this new section, is add a new row, and I can try and add 4 columns and then add images in there, but I won't get this look of them right next to each other. And I know things look a little bit funky right now on this editing page, looks completely different on the preview, but I'm gonna show you how to do this. So what I found is the easiest way to do this is outside of ClickFunnels. So what I use is Canva, and what I've done is I just go into create a new design, a LinkedIn banner. So it's nice and thin across the board. And you can see right here, I can add now in multiple images. So what I would do is just add a page in here. And then here in the elements, I'm gonna scroll down and I want frames. Actually, if I click on frames and we go back here, it's going to give me grids. Let's say I wanted 4. So I can click on that there, and you can see it's going to give me a space to add all of my images in here. So if I drag that in there, I can do that, boom, boom, I can add that image in and this one. There's my 4 images. And then what I would do is just go ahead and download this and drag and drop it into ClickFunnels. Instead of adding an image, so instead of having like a 1 row column, what I would do is actually go here into settings, click on BG image. So this is the background of the setting, and let me find that image here. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to add image. Okay, so there is the image of my section. Now it looks a little funky, it's cut off part of my picture. So first thing we're going to do is image position. I'm going to do fill 100% width. So now it doesn't cut off my image. But if I save this, if I go here into preview and let's scroll down, you can see even though it takes up the entire section background, my image is still cut off. It doesn't look like this first one. So this is where all the funkiness comes into play of this, okay? Basically, we need to increase the section so you can see our image on preview mode. So what I've got to do is I've just got a blank row in here. I'm just gonna clone this until I can see my image. Now the key here that I found is like, oh, now I can see my entire image, save it, check it out in preview. Typically, it's not enough. So let me show you guys. So I save this, I can see my entire image, which is awesome. Let's go into preview and scroll down. But you can see the image is still cut off, so I need more. So let's go back here into the editing screen. I'm gonna clone past my image. So my recording cut me off, but what I was doing is you can see there's 3 blank rows here past my image. So it looks a little funky here, but when I save it and I go back here into preview, now you can see the image is the full image. So it's not cutting it off and it looks really nice. Now, one last thing I do want to add about adding multiple images like we just did here for a section background. Looks awesome on desktop, but the mobile needs some adjusting, okay? So if we go back here to the editing screen and we click on mobile, you can see it does not look too good. And there's really not much adjusting that you can do with this image to make it look good on mobile. So here is what I would recommend doing. 1, you can choose just to have this show up on desktop and not show up on mobile. So to do that, I'm gonna just go ahead, let's just work with one section here. So I'm gonna just delete this bottom one that we did. Let's just work with this top one. What I can do here is in settings, I can do just desktop only. So if I go here into mobile, it's not there, okay? But if I wanted to also show up on mobile, what I would do is still leave this desktop only, and I would go here into mobile, and let's go down to where we would add that section. Okay, so right here, I would add a new section, full width. Let's make the background white so we can tell the difference. And I would make this mobile only. Okay, so now that's mobile only. Then what I do, because I went into Canva and made these images, I would just go in and create a horizontal image. So I'd go maybe into like the IG, Instagram, like story template that you can use, so something that's vertical, and then go ahead and add in your image here, and you can add it as a background of this section. You can use those exact same images, but just make it vertical. Hopefully I have not been saying horizontal this whole time, but make it vertical. Now, the last design tip that I have for you guys, design tip number 6, is mockups. So mockups can be really important when delivering what type of thing you're selling. So we love mockups. We love seeing a physical version of something, even if what you're selling isn't actually a physical version of anything, like an ebook, or you can see here I've got my calendar link there, things like that. So even if you're not selling physical products, having some sort of visual layout for your customer to look at and be like, oh, this is what I'm receiving, can be really helpful. So one thing that I found is really nice when creating mockups, I am by no means a design expert. I have really no design experience other than what I've taught myself by using ClickFunnels. And so the easiest way that I've found to do this is, again, just by using Canva. We love using Canva. And what I've done here is just, you guys can see, I've just created essentially a ton of different templates for myself using Canva. Now, one thing that you can do is go and hire somebody like on Fiverr or Upwork. You can do that there, but Fiverr is a really great place that you can go and outsource people to create you mockups for a relatively cheap price. So you can definitely do that if you don't want to do any of it yourself, but if you do want to do it yourself, this is how I do it. So here on Canva, what I've done is you just go here into elements, and if you go down to frames, you can then see they've got like an iMac frame, they've got a phone, a laptop, an iPad, and you can just use these. And what's nice is with these images, let me show you guys here. Let's just do this one here at the top. If I take a photo and just drag it in, it's going to fill the screen. So sometimes you might have to cater your images that you're wanting into these computer screens or iPads or phones accordingly, but you can do that, and I can just delete the image out of there. So if I wanted to add a screen of my course, let's say, let's just add this in here, boom, I can add it in and it's immediately going to fit it to the screen, which is really nice and really simple. So you can do that. That's a really easy way. If you guys want to get all of these graphics, I actually offer this as a bonus for signing up for the One Funnel Away Challenge, which is basically just an awesome 30-day challenge teaching you how to use funnels effectively. Because as much as I would love to say it's about how beautiful your funnels is, that is awesome. But if you don't actually have a plan on how you're going to get traffic to your funnels and promote them, it doesn't matter how beautiful your funnels are. So that's a really great challenge that I would highly recommend checking out. I'll have it linked down in the description below. And as a free bonus, I give you these, so you can use them as much as you would like. And so there is 18 different digital product mockups that you can use. Another really great site that I would recommend is Smart Mockups. Now, they do have a lot of pro versions that you can only use if you're paying, but they do have some free options. So let's say I go here to laptops and I want just the free ones. You can see different stock images. I can add my design in there, and I can use that as a product image as well. So that's really nice. They have these different ones in different like settings. They also have some like blank ones as well, kind of like this one, which is nice. So you can also use this. I really love Smart Mockups, and that's really great. So if I click on an image here, you can actually add in your image from the Smart Mockups website. So I can upload it and do some general customizations. It's not gonna be anything crazy, but if you're a beginner, that's a really great place to start, and it's another great resource that I would highly recommend using when you're using mockups. So there you guys go. Those are some really just fun design tips that I've found that just really spice up your funnel and can make the design just 10 times better without any unnecessary coding. So if you guys found any value in this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe because it helps support my channel so much. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave those down in the comments below, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye, dudes. 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die.